Hey guys, how you doing? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report with your free NBA playoff previews and predictions for a Sunday, June 6th. Hope you have yourself a good start to your Sunday. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner or hit the subscribe button below this video if you are watching on a mobile device. Today's podcast brought to you by bballpicks.com. Anybody can play, anybody can join, and you want to follow some of the top pickers right here at bballpicks.com. In fact, Mike Anthony of Proline leading the top scorer here at 807. Chris Fatty Kalaja at 806. And we got a new third place leader right here. Tech Money 7 Antonio at 779. And folks, anytime you have a perfect night right here at the bballpicks.com website, you pick up a Kobe trophy, and that goes into your profile, and it recognizes perfection, just like Kobe was perfect on many, many nights. And you can see right now, Chris Fatty Kalaja from Brussels here. He's got 8 Kobe's. Laura's got 8, and yours truly, Ron Raymond, also rounding up the 8 Kobe's. So, folks, anytime you go perfect and you have a great night here at bballpicks.com, you get a Kobe trophy into your profile. All right, let's go to the tail of the tape, as they say in boxing. Speaking of boxing, big fight tonight. But let's talk about this game right here. Philadelphia 76ers in Game 1 over the taking on the Atlanta Hawks. They're a 3-point favorite in this one. The over-under set at 220. ATS forecast, the computer pick, gonna lean with a slight upset here. 103.87 for Atlanta, 103.74 for the Philadelphia 76ers. Now looking at the Sixers' last 10 games, well, they're coming off a series win over Washington. They're 7-3 in their last 10, 6-4 against the point spread, 7-3 to the over, where the Atlanta Hawks took care of business against the New York Knicks. They're 8-2 straight up, 6-4 against the point spread, and just the opposite of the Sixers. 2-7-1 to the under. So you can see a lot of games have gone under the total, so playing some defense, where Philadelphia played a lot of high-scoring games. And, look at their opponent they played, right? Washington. And a lot of those totals were high totals, 229, 230, 229 compared to like 209, 209, 212. So you can see the difference in totals right there, right? All right, let's take a look at my number on this game. I had the Philadelphia 76ers at minus 6.09 on the value index, and I had the Atlanta Hawks at minus 2.68. Now, if you're new to the Raymond Report and you're saying, what's this value index you keep talking about? What you want to do is I look at the sports betting industry like the stock market, and if I were to buy the Sixers against any faceless opponent today, I would recommend them at minus 6.09. That's what I feel their value is worth as a team today for June 6th compared to minus 2.68. And you take this number and you compare it with the bookmaker's number, and that's how you know you have value in your selection. Now, looking at the Sixers, they have good value. At minus 3, I'll give them that. They got good value, but I think there's better value on the Atlanta Hawks. The only thing I'm a little concerned about is this right here. Look at the last 2 games these two teams met. It was on right here, April 30th and April 28th, and it was 2 blowout wins for the Sixers, 126-104, 127-83. So you can see in the last 2 recent games that it was a total blowout, and they played again on January 11th where it was a 112-94 victory for the Hawks. But, what have you done for me lately? And we saw that lately, that Philadelphia, and it seems to me the Sixers team's on a roll and on a mission to win the Eastern Conference and get to that championship. But they're going to have to get through a few teams before they do get there. Now, looking at Philadelphia at home against a B-type team in the Raymond Report, and the B-type teams are teams that are 50 to 59.9% in the standings. And you can see here, both these teams have been very, very bullish. That's because they're winning, right? And the Sixers have been bullish for 34 days, where Atlanta's been bullish for 25 days. And you're wondering, what do you mean by bullish? Just like the stock market, right? When you're in a market that's a bull market, just like these two teams are. Anytime these teams have been 5-2, 6-1, or 7-0 in their last 7 games, I call that a bullish cycle. And you can see both these teams have been bullish here for close to a month. Philadelphia over a month. But when Philly's at home against an A-type team, 7-2 straight up, 5-4 against the number, 5-4 to the over. And when the Atlanta Hawks are on the road against a team above 60% in the standings, not a good record. 2-7 straight up, 2-7 against the number, 5-4 to the over. And looking at Atlanta's record in Philadelphia in their last 10, 5-5 straight up and against the number, 6-4 to the over. And you know what? I think if you, I think you got to go Sixers here today. And I'm thinking I'm going to play them on the money line. I'm not going to sweat out the minus 3. I just think Philadelphia is on a mission. They're bigger than the Hawks. I think the best player on the floor is Trae Young, but if Embiid is there and he's having his game, with his supporting cast and Simmons and all that, Tobias Harris, I think that Philadelphia will be the play here in game number 1. Now, if you do like Atlanta, I recommend you take the +3. But if you do like the Sixers, and if you want to lay a bit of money, I think it's -153 right now at Bookmaker. I would go Sixers money line. This way, you don't have to sweat out the last minute in case there is a necessary if you need that last minute, right? But I think I think Philadelphia, just looking at these last 2 games, man, that's dominance right there. All right, let's go to Game 7. Hey, isn't there 2 better words in sports than Game 7? Doesn't matter what sport, right? It could be cricket, or it could be anything, jai or turtle racing, whatever. Game 7, there's nothing that pumps you more than that, right? All right, let's take a look at the odds here. Now, the Clippers -6 favorite here against the Dallas Mavericks. Kawhi went off last game, had a solid game, and being a Raptor fan and watching Kawhi when he was here, he just turns it up a notch when it comes playoff time, right? He gets into that zone, he's quiet, and it's a quiet confidence, and it's a silent assassin. That's what he is. 209.5 is the total here on this number, and looking at the score, the computer forecast, going with the Clippers. And look at that, right on the number 6. 110.4 to 104.69. So it does like the LA Clippers to win by 6. Looking at the total, 215.12. And both teams identical in the last 10 games, 5-5 straight up. And Clippers 5-5 against the number, 4-6 to the under. Where the Dallas Mavericks 4-6 against the point spread, 6-4 to the over. Now, looking at my line on this game, -5.97. You round that off. That's right there with the bookmakers at -6. So fair market value on the Clippers. And if you look at the Dallas Mavericks, -1.82, and you're getting +6. You're getting +6 today with Luka Doncic and company. And but you know what, Mr. Playoff, Kawhi Leonard is going to be tough to beat. Their chance of winning today is at 75%. 38% of covering the spread compared to 59% for the Dallas Mavericks. And the chance of this game going over total today on the percentage play is at 76%, and meaning a 24% of the chance of this game going under the total. And when the Clippers are at home against a B-type team, a team that's 50 to 59.9% in the standings, only 5-6 straight up and against the number, where the Luka Doncic and the Mavericks are 7-5 straight up, 8-4 against the number, and 4-8 to the under. Now, looking at these games and analytics, it's Game 7. It boils down to the best against the best right here. Your best player has got to be your best player. Luka Doncic, we saw in Game 6, he had an opportunity to close at home, didn't get the job done. And normally those type of situations don't bode well for teams going into Game 7. And just knowing Kawhi and how he can turn it up a notch, winners win, right? And right now, the Dallas Mavericks have planted the seed of doubt in their followers, maybe in themselves. And when you got a player like Kawhi Leonard that went off in Game 6 on the road, and now they're going back home, I think it's going to be a tough task for the Dallas Mavericks. And I'll never forget that look at the end of the game at Dallas, and they showed the camera to Mark Cuban. He knew right there. If you go watch the game, go look in about the last minute. The cameras went to Cuban, and he's like, crap, we got to go back to LA. And it's going to be tough. It will be tough. And I think if you're going to play this game here today, folks, I think point spread wise, I don't, to me, it's a coin flip. And if I was to make a number here, and look at this number is so tight on my number, I think there's value in Dallas because, anytime you get a player like Luka Doncic and you're getting +6, there's value. But when you got a player, a playoff performer, and who's got experience and who's got a past of showing up in big games, it's really tough to go against Kawhi and company right here, right? So I'm going to lean, maybe, if I'm going to play this game, I think I would lean more towards the over. I'm going to go with the Kogo, 76, and 215 is my number, 209.5. And what was the total in the last game? The total was 215. So, and the Mavericks only scored 97 points. And 81 points here. So, twice in the series, double digits, right? So, I'm looking for triple digits here today. And if we get to overtime, even good, right? So, I think if you're going to play today's card, guys, I think Philly on the money line. And I think the over in the Dallas Clippers, and that's where I'd lean. Also, don't forget, you can follow my picks each and every day right here at bballpicks.com, and follow Fatty. Fatty's on a run right here. You can see he's got 8 Kobe's, and he's very active on their YouTube channel, and I appreciate you, Fatty. And guys, have yourself a great rest of your Sunday, and enjoy Game 7. It's always a treat. Cheers.